Hey everybody. Today we are going to be doing another experiment with primary colors. The colors that we used last week. We are going to be using our red, our blue, and our yellow. And like on the cactus drawing that you did last week, I'm going to ask that you mix them together. So I'm going to show you a couple artworks, and then we are going to do the drawing together. So make sure that you have a piece of paper ready, you have a pencil, and you have a marker. You're going to need a black marker. So pencil, paper, black marker, and your primary colors, yellow, blue, and red. This is a painting by a man named Pete Mondrian. And when you look at it, you can see the colors we just talked about are red, yellow, and blue. We also see lines that go up and down and lines that go side to side. So this was made over 100 years ago. This is an artist. He's not Pete. His name is Philip, and he lives right here in San Diego. Philip Sang is his name. And he made kind of a silly picture based on Pete's painting. So here is Philip's painting. And you'll notice that we see our red, yellow, and blue. We see lines that are up and down, lines that are side to side, and hopefully you see that it looks like the shapes are having a fun time on a play structure that you might find at the park or at Zamorano or somewhere you go in San Diego. And you can see that they have happy faces, happy feelings because of the smiles that Philip added to those characters. Okay, my friends, so hopefully you have your art supplies. And remember, as you're watching the video, you can pause it at any time so you can catch up, or you can also rewind it if you miss a step. So we're going to need our pencil, our marker, and our crayons, our red, blue, and yellow. All right, so here we go. So the first thing that I would want to do if I am making a Philip playground inspired by Pete's work is I'm going to go ahead and make a ground line, right? This is going to be where the play structure touches the ground. So I'm using a horizontal line that goes side to side. Then I can go ahead, I'm going to make a big rectangle. It could be more of a square. It could be more of a rectangle. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to split that up into a few different shapes. They could be big or small, but remember, I'm going to be putting a few characters or shapes inside them. So that would be enough for red, yellow, and blue. Maybe I want to make this a little smaller right there. Maybe I'm going to go ahead and split this part right here. All right. So once I have my play structure, if you want, you can make little shapes on the corners like this. You don't have to, but if you wanted to make it look like it was more of a play structure, you can add these little like rectangles to some of the parts, right? And again, this is optional. You don't have to do that. It just makes it look more like a play structure, right? So I have my parts. Now what I can do is add smaller shapes. A shape in here, and you decide what spots they go. All right, so that could be for one of my colored shapes. Maybe I have a colored shape down here. And so you can see they're just smaller shapes. And if you make mistakes like I do, that's perfectly okay. And then maybe I have one. Oh, I'm going to put one up here. All right, so next thing I do is I want to think about how they're playing on the play structure, right? What are they holding on to? So right now, they just look like rectangles or squares. I think I'm going to have this rectangle, and I'm going to use two straight lines, kind of look like antennas. But I'm going to make bump, bump, and bump, right? So kind of like fingers on my creature. Bump, bump, and bump. So they're holding on. Oh, I think I'm going to make it look like their feet are dangling. Whoa. Then I'm going to make it look like, oh, maybe this one, I'm going to make it look like this one is hanging, but I'm going to make it hold on to the side too, right there, right? It's climbing up the play structure. And since it's climbing, maybe I have 1 foot down. I'm going to make it look like one leg is bent like that, right? So it looks like it is about to step, right? Then I'm going to have this one down here, and I'm going to make the feet, right? The legs and the feet. And again, oh, I think I'm going to make this one hold on to this bar, and I'll make it hold on to this bar. And if your fingers look different than mine, if your legs or feet look different than mine, that is okay. Now I want to think about how they're feeling, right? So I could use the eyes, right? So when I do eyes, I can make them simple dots. I'll show you 2 ways. I could go like a dot and a dot, or I can go ahead and I'm going to make a round shape like these, but I'm going to put a smaller shape inside them. So this character, where is it looking? Is it looking this way? Is it looking this way? Or is it looking up? Ah, it's looking up, all right? And then I think I'll do another simple eye on this one, all right? So we've got our eyes. Then you want to think about how they are feeling, right? Since this one is hanging, I think this one, I'm gonna use a wavy line. It's a little worried. Maybe that shape isn't sure how it's going to get down. Maybe over here, this shape has made it to the top. So they are feeling pretty happy. This shape down here, they may be a little worried about these being up above them. So I'm going to use an oval so it looks like, oh, they are surprised. All right, they are surprised that their buddies have climbed so high. All right, so once I have that done, I can use my marker here to trace the play structure. All right, so I'm going to go and trace it. Right? And you could use a black crayon for this step too. So I am just going over my pencil lines. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. All right, take your time. I know I'm drawing fast, that's okay. All right, so I'm tracing all my parts in there. Okay, and again, if you make mistakes, if it doesn't look exactly like mine, that is okay. Oh, I have this one here. It's always good to look at your work after you're finished a step to make sure you got it. I'm gonna go ahead and trace the eyes and the feelings like that. I'm gonna go ahead and trace this one. All right, and I think I'm gonna leave the legs and outlines of the shapes. I'm just gonna color those. All right, so that's all I'm gonna do with my black marker. So I have that done. Then I want to think about which is red, which is yellow, and which is blue. Right? So I have my colors right there. So I think, oh, maybe I'm gonna make the one at the top yellow. Right? So you can press hard or soft, whatever you like. I'm gonna trace the legs and the feet yellow. And if you want to make the legs and arms black, you could do that. All right, that's up to you. All right, I'm gonna use maybe red down here. All right, and when I color, I like to kind of go around the edges of a shape like that to make it a little easier to kind of fill it in. All right, so I have my surprised red shape at the bottom. Oh, and then I have blue. I'm gonna get my blue shape in here, all right? And again, you can press hard or soft. If you press super hard with blue, sometimes it might be hard to see the face in there, so that's up to you. All right, you can use light blue if you want. Get the legs in there. Now, once I have the characters in there, all right, if you like to experiment with some mixing, I could make grass. Ooh, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm going to draw a flower down here. Sometimes we see flowers at the playground. It's up to you. You could leave it just as a rectangle. Maybe I have part of a flower down here too. Okay. Maybe it's a sunny day. I'm going to go ahead and add a sun up in the sky. All right. So once you have those parts, what you'll do is you're gonna do a little mixing. So I'd like to, when you think of grass, what color do you think of? Yeah, I think of green too. So I'm gonna go ahead and make some green down here. All right. And I wonder if anybody remembers what colors you mix in order to make it. So I've got yellow. What color do I have to mix with yellow in order to make green? I think it's red. I think I'm gonna try blue. Ah, oh, look at that. If I go kind of softly with the blue on top of it, it makes a green color. It may not be the green that you normally think of if you're looking at comic books or picture books or shows on TV, all right, or games you play on your devices. But it makes a green. If it looks a little too blue, I can take my yellow and go back on top of it in order to make my green grass. All right, just like that. If you'd like to add, if you added flowers to your shapes, maybe I want centers to be yellow. Oh, since I have my sun up here, right, maybe I add, oops, a little yellow to my sun. All right, oh, I forgot that little arm right there. My little blue arm. Okay. So I have that. Now, what colors do I want to make those flowers down at the bottom? Let me get my arm right there. I think I might try and make violet. So I'm gonna go soft with the red. Right. Maybe I'm gonna go, oh, you know what? I'm not gonna go soft. I'm gonna press a little harder. Right. So maybe if I'm gonna make those violet, am I gonna add yellow to the red? What happens if I add blue to the red? Let's see. If I go softly there, maybe I can make a light violet right there. Right? On this one down here, what if I do that? Oh yeah, so I'm making violet. And again, if it doesn't look quite like it, that's okay. Remember, it is gonna look a little different than what you might normally think of it. And I have that sun up there. I haven't made orange yet, so how about I take a little red and I add a little red to my sun up there. So I have all the colors that we've learned about. I have our yellow, our blue, our red, green, violet, and orange. And that's about it. You can see here's another one that I made. So you can see on this one, I actually traced the boxes. So that's up to you. If you want to do more tracing with your black marker, you can do it. And that's about it, my friends. So I hope you have fun experimenting with your Philip Sang playground and experimenting with your red, yellow, and blue. Right? So here's the one that we just did together. Right? So I hope everybody has a wonderful day, a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you soon. Okay? So be safe, be creative, and I'll see you soon.